Hey everyone, Zankus here, and here are today's spoilers for Masters 25. We got a bunch to go through, so let's dive in real quick. We'll start with the commons. Brainstorm. If I'm not mistaken, I think it was an uncommon in Eternal Masters, so it's been downgraded to common. Brainstorm, one blue instant, draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand at the top of your library in any order. All right, we all remember this card. Next, we have Hordling Outburst. For 1 colorless, 2 red, it's a sorcery. Create 3/1/1 red goblin creature tokens. All right, not bad for draft. Let's see next. Frenzied Goblin. Uh, 1 red, you got a Goblin Berserker. Whenever Frenzied Goblin attacks, you may pay 1 red. If you do, target creature can't block this turn. Alright. Next up, Man o' War. From Visions, it looks like, all the way back. 2 colorless, 1 blue. To Jellyfish. When Man o' War enters the battlefield, return target creature to its owner's hand. Alright. Beauty to the eye does not always translate to the touch. And once again, counterspell. Alright, it's a counterspell. What else could I say about it? Next up is Nezumi Cutthroat. 1 colorless, 1 black. You have a rat warrior, has fear, and Nezumi Cutthroat can't block. Alright, so can only be blocked by artifact creatures and or black creatures, and it can't block itself. Alright. Let's see. Next up is another rat, Relentless Rats. 1 colorless, 2 black. You got a rat. Relentless Rat gets +1/+1 for each other creature on the battlefield named Relentless Rats. A deck can have any number of cards named Relentless Rat. So that's the commons I have for today. We'll go over to the uncommons. First up is Willbender. 1 colorless, 1 blue. Looks like Legion's watermark, if I'm not mistaken. Human Wizard has Morph for 1 colorless, 1 blue. And when Willbender is turned face up, change the target of target spell or ability with a single target. Okay. We have an uncommon land here, Mishra's Factory. It's add 1 colorless to your mana pool, or pay 1 colorless. Mishra's Factory becomes a 2/2 assembly worker, artifact creature until end of turn. It is still a land. Target tap and target assembly worker creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. All right, let's keep it going with Lightning Bolt. Very iconic. Yes. Lightning Bolt, 1 red. It's an instant, and Lightning Bolt does 3 damage to target creature or player. Alright. So, next uncommon we have is Jalira Master Polymorphist. 3 colorless, 1 blue. It's a legendary creature, human wizard. For 2 colorless, 1 blue, he's tap and sacrifice another creature. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a non-legendary creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest onto the bottom of your library in a random order. That seems pretty good. Pretty decent for an uncommon. Next up is Promise of Brunner. Brunray. It's an enchantment for 2 colorless, 1 white. When a creature you control dies, sacrifice Promise. If you do, create 4 1/1 color spirit creature tokens. Okay, it looks like Kamigawa block. I can't really see the watermark very well. Next up, we have another Merfolk, Merfolk Looter. 1 colorless, 1 blue creature, Merfolk Rogue. You tap it, draw a card, then discard a card. It's a 1/1, and is that watermark Stronghold? I think. Let me know in the comments if I'm right. And last uncommon, Invigorate from Masks. Mercadian Masks. 2 colorless, 1 green. Instant. If you control a forest, rather than pay Invigorate's mana cost, you may have an opponent gain 3 life. Target creature gets +4/+4 until end of turn. Alright. Well, if you're swinging for face, you're only netting 1 damage if you let him gain 3 life. But if you want to kill a big creature and surprise him with this, that's pretty good. All right, to the rares. And if you guys watched my prediction video, here's Rashad Port. I thought they were going to upgrade it to a mythic, but they kept it in the rare slot, which is nice. Could be a little bad for the value because rares are less rare than mythics, so there'll be a little bit more of these, but still, it's a pretty high-end value card. So for it's a land, and you tap and you add colors to your mana pool, or you pay 1 and tap it, and then you could tap target land. This is good in control decks or land destruction decks. This is where it finds a home. So next up is Darian, King of Keljor. Is a 4 colorless, 2 white, legendary creature, human soldier. Whenever you're dealt damage, you may create that many 1/1 white soldier tokens. When you're dealt damage, not him. So that's alright. Not bad. Next up, we have Akroma's Vengeance. 4 colorless, 2 white, sorcery. Destroy all artifacts, creatures, and enchantments. And you could cycle it for 3. Alright, it's like a Wrath of God for everything. Alright. Next up, we have Eidolon of the Great Reveal. This is a staple in modern burn decks. So we have 2 reds. It's an enchantment creature. It's a spirit. Whenever a player casts a spell with converted mana cost 3 or less, Eidolon of the Great Reveal deals 2 damage to that player. So most of your deck in a burn deck is going to be less than 3. So every time you say you lightning bolt face, you're lightning bolting for 5 instead of 3, which is nice. It's a 2/2 creature, so not bad. Next up, we have, to go along with the common and uncommon rats, we have the Rat Catcher. 4 colorless, 2 black. He's an ogre rogue. He has fear, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you may search your library for a rat card, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. Alright, everybody that wants to build a rat EDH deck, I guess you guys are going to have a few cards from this set to put in there. Now we have Conflux from Conflux. So for 3 colorless and 1 of each land, 1 of each color, it's a sorcery. Search your library for a white card, a blue card, a black card, a red card, and a green card. Reveal those cards and then put them into your hand. Then shuffle your library. Okay. A little expensive. A lot expensive, but what are you going to do? Not play it, probably. Alright, next up is Decree of Justice for XX. 2 and 2 white. You have a sorcery, and it is create X 4/4 white angel creature tokens with flying. You could cycle it for 2 colorless, 1 white, or when you cycle Decree of Justice, you may pay X. If you do, create X 1/1 white soldier creature tokens. It's probably mostly used for its second cycle ability. That's way too expensive to create 1 or 2 angels. So let's keep it going. Next up, we have a blue card. It's Blue Sun's Zenith. X, blue, 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 triple blue. It's an instant, and target player draws X cards. Shuffle Blue Sun Zenith into its owner's library. All right. This would go good in my my commander deck. I'll do you guys gotta remind me to do a video on that. I'll show you guys. It's pretty fun. It's It's a draw with a pain deck. It's pretty fun. All right, we have another rare land, Mikoroko, Center of the Sea. It's a legendary land. Tap to add 1 colors to your mana pool, and pay 2. Tap. Each player draws a card. Oh, that I could use that card too. Nice. And I believe I looked this up. It's okay value for about $14 right now. Probably drop a little bit, probably to $8 or $9 after this is released. So not bad. Next up, we have Strodic Resonator. Okay. For 2 colorless, you got an artifact, and for 2 and tapping it, copy target triggered ability you control. You may choose a new targets for the copy. And you see M14 back there. Next up, we have Reef Worm. So 3 colors, 1 blue. You get a worm, and it's a 0/1. When Reef Worm dies, create a 3/3 blue fish creature token with. When this creature dies, create a 6/6 blue whale creature token with. When this creature dies, create a 9/9 blue kraken creature token. That's a mouthful, but for 4 you get an 0/1 that turns into a 3/3, that turns into a 6/6, that turns into a 9/9. Alright. So next up, we have some more rare lands. This is probably going to be the land cycle that they're going with in this set. It is the Filter Lands, Rugged Prairie, Twilight Mire, Faded Heath, Cascaded Bluffs, and there's one more that I didn't have a picture for. Let me see what the name of it is. Flooded Grove. It's the green blue one of these. They're all the same. You pay the color and you get to pick how you want it to come out. Two blues, 1 blue, 1 red, 2 reds, same for the rest. So that's a little disappointing because they're probably not going to put another land cycle in, and I was hoping for the man lands, but can't have everything, right? Next up, with the rares, Summoner's Pact for 0. It's an instant. Search your library for a green creature card, reveal it, and put it into your hand, then shuffle your library. At the beginning of your next upkeep, pay 2 colors, 2 green. If you don't, you lose the game. Okay. I think the best pact was the Pact of Negation. This one's meh. Next up, we have Grenzo, Dungeon Warden. X, black and a red. It's a 2/2 legendary goblin rogue. Grenzo Dungeon Warden enters the battlefield. X 1/1 counters on it. And for 2, put the bottom card of your library into your graveyard. If it is a creature card with power less than or equal to Grenzo's power, put it onto the battlefield. Okay. Maybe a EDH card or whatever. And the last rare that we got today is the Great Nicol Bolas. So for 2 colorless, 2 blues, 2 blacks, 2 reds, you get Legendary Elder Dragon from the Legend set. He has flying. He's a 7/7, and at the beginning of the upkeep, sacrifice Nicol Bolas unless you pay a blue, black, and red. Whenever Nicol Bolas deals damage to an opponent, that player discards his or her hand. And the flavor says Dominaria's most ancient evil. Nicol Bolas, this is one of the first elder dragons that created EDH, or Elder Dragon Highlander. He is this art is way better than the original. I think the original was a little cartoony for a badass like Nicol Bolas, but that's neither here nor there. We got him back. He's back. And that was the last rare. Now we have one mythic today. It's a green mythic, Master of the Wild Hunt. So for 2 colorless, 2 green, you get a human shaman. At the beginning of your upkeep, create a 2/2 green wolf creature token. Then his ability is tap. Tap him. Tap all untapped wolf creatures you control. Each wolf tapped this way deals damage equal to its power to target creature. That creature deals damage equal to its power divided as its controller chooses among any number of those wolves. Alright. Not that strong of a card, but alright. That is what it is. So that's what we have for today. Before I end, I'm just gonna we have a few more cards that just came up. Let's see. I'm gonna just flip this over here. This is where I'm getting everything from. We have Brine Elemental. It's a 4 colorless, 2 blues. It's an uncommon. Has more for 7. And when Brine Elemental is turned face up, each opponent skips his or her next untap step. Alright. Then we have Vesuvian Shapeshifter. So for 3 colorless, 2 blue, we got the rare. It's a 0/0. As Vesuvian Shapeshifter enters the battlefield or is turned face up, you may choose another creature on the battlefield. If you do, until Vesuvian Shapeshifter is turned face down, it becomes a copy of that creature and gains at the beginning of your upkeep. You may turn this creature face down, and it's a morph for 2. All right, and we have another blue card, a common Fathom Seer. It's an illusion for 1 colorless, 1 blue. Has morph. Morph is return 2 islands to you control to their owner's hand. When Fathom Seer is turned face up, draw 2 cards. All right, so that's everything that we have for today. Let's get that out of the way, and stay tuned for tomorrow. We'll have some more spoilers, and we'll have March's giveaway video. So check it out. Comment and everything. So as always, like, comment, and subscribe.